The offense, at least to me, looked much different the last few minutes of the first half and the opening few minutes of the second half when Matias Rojo and Slated got a lot more forward than they had been. Do you agree with that, or why do you think the offense looked so different?
Yes, I mean, thank you for the question, Doug. I think that we changed a few things at halftime. We talk about playing more direct a little bit. Once we start to break the lines of pressure, don't come to play too much and start to get in behind. Actually, the second goal came out of a very similar sequence where we try to stretch them in behind. And we talk about that at halftime. And I think after that, we start to do a better job at yes, breaking the first line of pressure, maybe the second one, but after that, we need runs in behind. And I think that was an improvement for what you just said.
And of the players who are missing today for various reasons, which ones do you expect are going to be able to rejoin the team and possibly be available for selection for Kansas City?
Well, some of them are still out of my control, like the visas. You guys know that there are 3 players waiting for visas in Argentina, and then obviously a few that are probably day-to-day basis again, and we will see. I mean, I don't have a final answer on that. I hope I can count with most of them, but we will see throughout the week.
Thank you.
Gonzalo, this is Joe from Dirty South Soccer and 92.9 The Game. Just what is the importance of seeing Josef score? I imagine for his teammates, just to see him kind of get in that scoring feeling in this game.
Well, it was very good to see Josef scoring, obviously, but I think that's his main role, right? What I was pleased was that he was very active, communicating with all the players around him, very active at demanding the ball in certain areas and then getting the ball in between the lines, but then sprinting in behind. And even at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw, but there's a play where Luis Araujo stay higher and then he sprint back to defend. And that for me tells me a lot about Josef's mentality. So I'm very pleased with that. And obviously the goals just is an addition to that. But I think Josef's contribution as a leader was very evident to me today.
And then on a more general level, I think you would agree that for any team starting their first game of the season, it's impossible to be at 100% the best you're going to be throughout the season. But how do you feel about where this team is just generally now that all the preseasons behind you, all the tune-ups behind you going into that first game?
Yes, well, I think it's very hard to measure percentages on the teams. There's always ups and downs, even throughout the season. And it's really hard for me to say we are 80%, 90%, or 100%. But I will say that we're going to come in a very good shape. I hope that this starting at home almost increase that, urgency for winning. And I think the team can expand a little bit on any aspect of the game, like tactically, technically, and physically for the game against Kansas. So I would say that we're going to be in an okay shape, and we'll see once we start to play the first few games how we are, especially with many absences. So we will see how the starting lineup operates, and then we will see after a few games.
And then if I could ask just a few quick ones, is Matias Rojo okay? I mean, he took a kind of a hard knock there in the second half.
Yes, I think he's okay. It was more precautionary. Probably he could have finished the game, but I felt that no point at putting him at risk. It was someone step on his heel, and then some of those are painful, and then you increase the risk of a bigger injury. So I prefer to save some minutes from Matias, and that was the reason.
And Dom Dwyer got a few minutes there at the end of the game. Do you know if he will be signed? Has any decision been made on that front yet?
Yes, I mean, probably I don't want to be the one that delivers the news on signings. Okay. It's not my role, but probably that will be announced in a few days.
And then one last one, sorry. Jackson Conway was not in this squad today. Is he training with the twos? Do you expect him to start with the twos to begin the season? Just curious why he wasn't in the roster today.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few players that played yesterday with the USL. I forgot to mention that. For example, Alan Franco, who suspended for the red card, he had a lot of minutes yesterday in a friendly for our USL team, and the same with Mikey Ambrose and Eric Centeno. So that's the reason. Jackson picked up a little bit of a little injury, so we will see. That's why he wasn't dressed today.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions for you?
Concerned with how the offense started today's game. It looked to me a little bit like kind of Mexico. There weren't a lot of chances being created until that fantastic goal by Josef after the pass from Salic in the backheel from Zetu.
Yes, I think yes, we struggled a little bit on the build-up play and how we were breaking lines. And I agree with you. We were probably not creating a lot of chances or any chances probably. So yes, I mean, we discussed that at halftime. I felt that there was a big improvement for the second half, but I agree with you. I think that's something that we need to start off better. We already addressed that, and I hope that that against Kansas we can start in a better way.
Switching positions on the field, like there was good chemistry there. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I mean, Amar characteristics, I think, suit to the other two, Osvaldo and Matias. Like they are very good connectors on the ball. They are always demanding the ball. So those interchange of positions are good for me because they are always organized, but are always interchanging positions, and that creates confusion for opposition shapes. The same I can say with Luis Araujo, sometimes inside in the pocket and then Ronald higher on the field as a winger, but sometimes it's the opposite, Ronald deeper, Rosero in between the lines, Luis Araujo outside, and on the other side is the same. So I think we are working on some of those rotations, but I was pleased with the three center mids today. I think Ossie had a monster game, and the same with Matias Rosero and Amar. I think those three were operating together very, very good.
And after the issues defending set pieces in Mexico, didn't look like Birmingham really threatened y'all at all today with any set pieces. Did y'all spend a lot of time on that this week, or is it just kind of how the percentages work sometimes?
Yes, I mean, at times, like we have to put things in context, right? So we obviously work on that this week, and we will do more next week as well. But also no panic mode here. Like we didn't feel like opposition in Mexico were causing us a lot of problems from set pieces. Obviously, we conceded 2 goals in the last 2 games against Tepatitlán and Chivas, but it was little details that I think we already solved. So it's more the attention and understanding of certain roles that causes those problems. But I feel like, yes, our set pieces today were a big improvement, and obviously we need to continue on that path.